Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me, it's your turtle boy, Ben.
Tubuloso. Dude, that shit is too. That's like why I'm here. Which is very
radical.
Dude, fucking it's so good. My only beef is that maybe I'm sure it probably evolves over the, we did Turtles. We did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles even.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, known as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles in Europe.
I was gonna say Ninja's too violent.
Too violent.
I never really watched the cartoon. Like I it was in my sphere. Like specifically, I think I remember being at like daycare and like it would be on, but like I wasn't watching it. But I just osmosis or whatever.
Yeah.
So like my most recent exposure is playing fucking Hot Wheels Unleashed, and the turtle van is in it. And every fucking time you boost without any cooldown, it says Cowabunga.
Hell yeah.
And it can happen like 4 times in 10 seconds. It's insanity. But I'm used to that.
Sounds appropriate.
Dude, I'm used to that intonation. So like in one of those episodes, they busted out like 5 Cowabunga. And it was like every 30 seconds on average.
Yeah. Once per act, at least.
It was crazy, but like the intonation to me was like it's wrong. It sounds off. But I assume they hit different. We only did 5 episodes of the cartoon. There's like how many? Like that show ran for fucking ever.
Oh God. The original show, it ran for like 9 seasons or something.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Damn it! This episode list doesn't give me. There it is. 193. 193. There it is.
They're a little shy of an Ursa Yatsura.
Well, let me tell you how the seasons go. Season 1, 5 episodes, which is what we watched.
Okay.
Season 2, 13 episodes.
Sure, that's reasonable.
Season 3, 47 episodes.
Oh my God. Hell yeah. Ramp that shit up. The kids are loving it.
It's 10 seasons total.
That's a lot of turtles.
And I don't think I've ever seen the end of really watched the end, because it ran so long that by the end, fucking Batman was on the air. So like the last couple seasons, like the sky is red and it's a little more serious.
Sure.
Which are seasons I never watched, because they didn't go as heavy into syndication by that point. Like Turtles was not the thing in 1996.
Yeah.
It was a thing in 87 to 89 when I was a fucking baby. And the big thing, like this was my first like media love as a child. This was the thing.
Hell yeah.
This was the thing that I like apparently talked about in my sleep. I made my parents buy me action figures.
No, that's
as this thing is designed to do, because this exists to sell toys.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that fucking van and shit. I remember commercials for that even.
I had the Technodrome.
Man, quick unrelated thing. I went to blow out a candle and I forgot my little bowl of incense. Ash is right next to it. Ash everywhere. That air carried.
Hell
that
yeah.
Steam Deck is fucking dusted. Anyway.
Rip.
I'm like, that looked like a lot of smoke. It wasn't smoke. We'll fix it later. So this was nice. We did not in this. Well, we did the original 3. I mean, ours was 3 volumes of like the original comic.
We did the original comic. I cut some stuff out of what I gave you, because what I gave you focused on the issues that Laird and Eastman worked on together.
Right.
And I cut out the one issue that's like a crossover with another black and white indie comic at the time
Sure.
because it's kind of filler.
Well, I mean that shit was great. You nailed it. Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did a colorized version, and it's different than the one you have
Yes,
because I
have
wasn't reading the original black and
They're
white.
these physical books, the first graphic novels, which are I don't remember when they're pretty old. They're not in print anymore. They're first printed in '87. So like, and these just have a color that's like a little. It's not as like the new ones are oversaturated,
They're
but in some
very
places they're like all too dark for me. They like
Sure.
don't have as much panache and color as these first graphic novels do. But those are the ones that are currently that you can get in print. That is the version you read.
Gotcha.
And I couldn't find scans of the ones I have, which I only know about from like an angry video game video about the Turtles where he mentioned that he owned those books. I was like, I'm fucking buying those. Those look sick.
Hell yeah.
And also
they look
these,
really
and
good.
also these don't even cover everything we read. That last bit of the story is not in these.
Oh, okay.
Because like I think it's issue like 11 or whatever is like the last one that they made. I think it's basically the last one before the show kicks off, and they became too busy and rich to do their indie comic anymore.
Yeah, as happens.
So after issue 11, they would like each issue it would like switch off where Laird and another artist would do an issue, and then the next issue would be Eastman working with someone on an issue. So, and it's incredibly disjointed as a result.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And I just think it's not as good as when they were like actually doing the thing. But then with issue 19 through 21, which is the last bit we did, they worked together again on those. And that was issues 19 to 21, and then they don't work together again on the comic until issue 50, I think.
Jesus.
And then they do like a big story that then ends out that volume, and then the next Turtles volume is like they're like not even involved at all.
Yeah, that tracks.
And we also didn't do the like Archie comics TMNT stuff that was based on the cartoon. There's a whole other comics line of turtle stuff there. Also, all 4 of the one-shots aren't in the books I have. Only the Leo one, I think, is in here, because that one's plot.
I think the
I think
original
Donatello,
one-shots?
yeah, like the Donatello issue, the Michelangelo issue, and the Raph issue, I don't think are in the books I have, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's another benefit of that would be another thing that even if I had scans of these, I would have to give you those versions that you read. Because then you got to get the Donnie issue. That's the Jack Kirby tribute issue.
Dude, that was... I got ash in my nose. That issue was super good. That shit was great.
And like the reason that Laird and Eastman knew to hold on to the rights to their characters is because of how they loved Jack Kirby, and they saw how he got fucked over by DC.
Oh.
And had no ownership over any of the characters he created. And did not make nearly as much money as he should have for creating all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they knew when they were like making deals for toy lines, they made sure to hold on to the rights to their comic and their characters.
Yeah. No, that's like...
Which eventually
That's
made them
huge.
very rich.
Yeah, dude.
Particularly Laird, because Eastman sold his shares to Laird at some point, and then Laird eventually sold out to Viacom.
That's crazy.
Because the Turtles are now owned by Viacom, just part of Nickelodeon.
Yeah, yeah. That's why they're in Nickelodeon All Stars.
It's true. It's true.
And
those first, so the fun things about this stuff that we watch. This is like the most successful indie comic ever. It started a whole black and white comics boon all on its own. It was like it was the one that, I think the thing that came out of that is also being pretty successful was Bone, probably, long term.
mm-hmm.
It's not until The Walking Dead, I think, is the other comparable thing, because that became a multimedia franchise also.
Sure.
And Robert Kirkman made a shitload of money off that. And also the movie we watched, the TMNT Turtles 1990 movie, was the most successful independent film at the time.
That's wild. It was independent?
Yeah.
Yo, that's pretty good.
Well, it wasn't part of a major major studio. They did hire Jim Henson's company to do the suits.
I was gonna and Puppet, right?
Splinter,
yeah.
The animatronics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yo, that movie was good.
Yes.
And
that movie looks so much better than any of the other live action turtle stuff they did in the wake of it.
The fucking, which one is the one where they look fucking weird as hell? Like they went too far. Was that 2008-ish? Was there one in 2008?
No.
So
I don't know what exactly one. There's so many, I don't know which one you're necessarily talking about.
But if I type
there was a live action TV show.
It's
made by
2014.
Oh, you mean where they were CG?
Sure.
The Platinum Dunes movie?
I don't know. The one where
Michael Bay's production set?
Probably.
Yeah.
Where they went too far.
Yeah. I've never watched those movies because I'm
why
I know
the
what
fuck would you?
Dunes movies. I don't need the Transformers movies version of the Ninja Turtles. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No.
I had already decided by that point.
I remember seeing that and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah. 90s movie, pretty solid.
Yeah, and it's part of it is, if its vibe is because they didn't have the rights to the cartoon, they had the rights to the comics to make it.
Gotcha.
So it references. So it's a little. It has a little more grit than a kids movie based on the cartoon would have.
Yeah.
And but it's still it's still pulling in a lot of that stuff, so it's got a good balance. It makes it a pretty fun movie.
Mm-hmm. And the final thing that we did was I want to say 2013, the IDW comics.
IDW comics were 2014, I think. 2011.
Oh, that's even worse. 2 years off.
No. Yeah. And I read these as they were. got into these as they were coming out because
they're still coming out apparently.
Well, apparently, Volume 2 is starting in July of this year.
That's ridiculous.
They've in April of this year. They finally ended the volume.
That's insanity. That's so long.
The number of issues, 284.
Jesus.
But yeah, I haven't read all of it because I fell off of all comics.
Yeah. As you do.
And when this came out, I was like, "Oh, this is the version of the Turtles," because it takes bits and pieces from all the versions that had existed previously, and kind of makes it into one cohesive whole in a way that like was really satisfying to me as a long-term Turtles fan.
Okay.
Like the fact that like having like the more serious stuff, but having Krang as a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it the way it keeps going as an ongoing story. Like I just think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll be real. I was not expecting that original comic to be what it was. Like
sure.
The Turtles I am exclusively familiar with are like post-cartoon Turtles, where it's like radical, oh pizza, like that's it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I
that's
didn't
what
know.
that's why I was introduced to. That's what I fell in love with. So.
I mean, I love that fucking vibe. I find it very fun, mostly because I get to just say the voice. Like fucking days without the. I mentioned the clip to you that like YouTube randomly recommended where like Shredder and I think it's Michelangelo switch bodies. Yeah. Like that shit's so fucking good. There's some cheese left in the shredder. Like it fucking sends me, dude. But I wasn't expecting the original comics to be like more serious and shit, and for it past that, for it to actually hit for me, and it did. Yeah. Like it hit really spot on. I was like, this is fucking good. This is good shit. Yeah. And I thought we ended in a perfect place. Also, like I'm satisfied on that.
Yeah, I think that's like the high point of the comics for sure. But they killed Shredder. It's over. They did it.
They fucking burned his body.
He's like weird worm body.
Yeah, he's like fucking the whole damn thing. Also,
he's Shredder's man.
Also,
he's like Spider's man version of the Shredder.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense if they're coming from black and white. But like, first off, I didn't know that the original comic was in black and white, and I would not have guessed in a void. But I didn't know that they originally didn't have like the uniquely colored headbands.
They did
or
not.
Masks. Which
they were black and white, but also in all the covers it was all red. So.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
that was a toy design thing.
I mean,
we gotta make these things unique so kids want all of them.
I mean that, and like, I think so. I wasn't super into Turtles, but like, you still end up talking about Turtles sometimes, right? This is how it is. Like, as a kid, Leonardo was my favorite. Can you guess why? I'll give you 3 guesses. There are 2
swords.
Okay, that was one element for sure. He had the swords.
And blue was blue your favorite color?
And blue. He had the blue headband, dude. That's all it fucking took. I was on board. I'm like, that's so good.
Oh, that's so funny.
And then, I mean, after a bit, Donatello became my favorite. Because I started playing Soul Calibur 2 and I discovered the overwhelming, oppressive power of long stick. And I'm like, Donatello knows what's up.
Yeah, Donatello often, if they give his weapon more reach, just the best character in some of those video games because of that.
Yeah, that makes fucking sense. But yeah, I think the colors like go a long fucking way. Because, like, oh, this one's the red one. He's the coolest or whatever. Like, that's all it takes, dude.
Yeah.
But I am kind of a big... Well, I was just watching a thing on... I don't think it was you talking to me about it. Was I... I can't even remember what the media... What the media... piece of media was that I was... That someone was talking about this. But it was the idea of, like... characters being distinct because of their items. I remember what it was. It wasn't for any media. It was for paintings of saints.
Hell yeah.
What it was.
The Ninja Turtles. Let's like the Ninja Turtles.
I mean, it's close enough, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like
same
if you
idea.
if you see a fucking saint holding this item, it's that saint. And like the idea of differentiating between people with the objects that they have. So like, and I was watching this. I'm like, you know what? That's actually a really good concept for like a lot of things, as opposed to like super unique designs in case that are unnecessary.
It's why the later episodes of the show are clearly worse because they replace Michelangelo's nunchucks with a grappling hook.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's a lot of like toning down the violence from these episodes that we watched as the show goes on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'll get into it in a bit, but
they were so on board with it. I even fucking noticed, like, these are robots, and then they just start fucking destroying them.
That moment is so fucking good.
That moment was
Clang? Did you say Clang? They're robots. And Michelangelo fucking tears off his fucking hat and coat and flies into the air in like a fucking amazing piece of animation. The music kicks in and they start fucking destroying them. It's so good.
It's 10 out of 10, dude.
It's everything I want in cartoons.
They're robots. we can kill them. Wasn't that like
fuck them up?
Wasn't that an argument at some point for like Star Wars and some piece of property, some video game or something or another? Like the stormtroopers are robots or some dumb shit.
I don't
Just
know.
like an offhand comment to get around it.
The other thing I'll just mention, Star Wars. There are so many Star Wars little side references in this stuff. It's very funny to me.
I don't know if I caught any.
In the movie, Splinter's basically talking about the Force when he's appearing as a ghost. It binds us.
Yeah.
And Shredder literally says the "I am your father" line. There's like, and then there's like a thing. There's a thing in the comics where they like walk into an alien bar. It's just the cantina.
I remember the alien bar because there's like I remember that, yeah. Because even the comment is like it felt like a loose reference.
Yeah,
one of them makes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and he'd like this. It's like the stairs they walk in on are like the stairs to Jabba's palace, but the cantina is the cantina.
Yes. I also it was really interesting seeing in all of these, like the stuff with Casey, because like I didn't know. I mean, I think April O'Neil I knew to be a reporter traditionally, but like Casey, I just knew he had the fucking hockey mask and he beat the shit out of people. Like that's all I knew.
It's the important thing.
I mean, like that, like nothing else really matters. I'm trying to think. I had like some sort of general awareness of like Raphael kind of not necessarily being the odd one out, but like, I don't know, going off on his own to do shit sometimes. And I don't know where I had, could not tell you where maybe I just ended up seeing like some of the cartoon or some bullshit. But like, I don't know. It was just cool seeing that played out a little more. You know, getting the fleshed out version of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny because like it's not who he is in the cartoon. He's the sarcastic one who breaks the fourth wall in the cartoon. Looks at the audience and says, "You believe this crap?" Whereas, like from the comic, he's the one who kind of splits off and goes off on his own, and then they play that up in the movie. Yeah, because he was which is funny because like it's partially they do that because he was, I think, the most popular character. He was arguable. I think Mikey is definitely the most popular character on the cartoon, but Raph had another level of popularity.
Why?
Because he's the funny one.
I cannot.
He says "Kalawabunga."
I cannot stress enough how much Leonardo had two swords.
Leonardo least popular. Always.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
He doesn't. He's the one with the least personality.
He has 2 swords, Hank.
This doesn't matter.
You're right. His personality doesn't matter. He has 2 swords.
I'm just telling you the reality of the situation.
That's insane to me. I thought for sure Donatello would be bottom of the pack.
No, nerds, dude.
I guess.
At some level. He is, I would say he is third, distinct third, generally.
That makes, yeah. If he's not last, he has to be third.
But he's not last.
I can't believe that. My entire life, my entire image just destroyed. See, and to me,
Unless you love the color blue.
I didn't love it was mostly the swords, but like I thought blue on those characters, I thought the blue bandana looked the coolest.
Yeah.
I'll say, can you guess?
But like as far as other characters that Raphael is coming in the wake of, it's like Peter Venkman on the real Ghostbusters cartoon and like Garfield. Like the sarcastic character was the thing at the time.
Can you guess who my least favorite character was and why? I mean, why should be obvious. Well, the general category for why. It was Raphael. I thought the weapons were meh. I was like, these are just toothpicks.
Well, they're like Wolverine claws.
Yeah, in practice.
Another character who was the most popular.
I mean, yeah.
So there's definitely links there of him holding the sai like between his fingers like they're Wolverine claws.
Yeah.
That is very important for. I think Raph was my favorite as a kid.
Okay.
Again, in that Wolverine mode of like.
Sure.
No, I have the movie. He's like the main character, basically.
Coming hot off of all this media, I don't like. It's probably Donatello because like I'm a big stick enjoyer, but like I can appreciate all of them at this point.
Yeah. I will say my favorite single issues are those Leonardo one shots.
I forget which one is his one shot in the original.
It's like the same thing of him getting beat up, like fighting the whole Foot Clan.
It is that
getting beat up. Yeah. It's like the same story, basically.
Right.
But the IDW one has the added wrinkle of him flashing back to his previous life and his mother getting murdered.
Yeah.
And that kind of puts it over the top for me. I fucking love that comic book.
See, I was like, that stuff was pretty interesting. I don't know if I like it. I mean, I straight up don't like it as much as the original stuff. Like that really hit the spot for me. But like, I thought it was really well done. Like,
yeah,
for me, and not that I dislike the concept, but like I was like, yeah, okay, it's solid. I thought it was done really well. In the sense that it didn't like overwhelm. Like it meshed in well, it fit in, it guided stuff.
They're not entirely defined by their past lives. It's just a fact about them that informs like who they are. Like I really like how they do it.
Also, like the direct link between their mom in their past life and Michelangelo discovering fried green beans, like I'm about it.
Like it's just like giving them a little more pathos and connection to Shredder.
Yeah.
In like emotional ways. It has like, again, it's a little more about the feels than you get in the original comic.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the original comic is more about just doing the thing.
Look, the original comic had Splinter learning like martial arts just as a normal rat.
Yeah,
which was also very important. Like he didn't fucking become he's not reincarnated. He's not like hyper intelligent or whatever.
No.
He's not actually the dude turned into a rat. Like, it's not any of this stuff. He's just a rat that learned martial arts.
Yeah, he watched his master from his cage as a normal rat.
Yeah. Too good. But no, the other thing that I really liked with the newer comic was I like what they did. I like that they aged down. I mean, seemingly aged down Casey and April. I thought that was a pretty good choice. Because, I mean, also I assume at that point, like, how many? I mean, is it a thing? Like, were there a lot of like not restarted?
There weren't as many as there are now.
Like adaptations and stuff, or like redesigns and whatever.
There weren't a ton.
Okay.
There's the original comics, the cartoon. There's a 90s live action version made by Saban that does have crossover episodes with Power Rangers.
I mean, that's
terrible.
Sense. Okay, yeah.
There was a coming out of their shells tour where people in suits would like put on music shows.
Great.
There's a VHS tape about that.
Oh my god.
There's the 2003 cartoon, which I think is like the main second version, which was part of the 4Kids block.
I don't remember that at all.
It was on for like 7 seasons and from 2003 onward. And I think that's about it by the time this comic came out.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's not a ton.
Because that movie's 2000, and there are 2 other live action movies that are just of decreasing quality.
Yeah. I mean,
I know Nickelodeon started their cartoon around the time of this, but I don't. Let me find what year that was. Okay, I think it was this. No. What am I doing? No, it was the next year. Yeah, the next year, the 2012 CG show, which is actually pretty good. Started up.
Nice. I just had figured, like, if there was a ton of stuff, it was like, oh, April being a reporter is, like, played out at this point. Change it up. Which may still be the case. I just want to do different. I'll say best design, cartoon. I'm biased, though. Like, that's what I...
Well, that design is just a ripoff of like in a scene in Castle of Cagliostro, the Miyazaki movie, that Fujiko is like she's a reporter disguise, and it's just the April O'Neil outfit. That's just what they took.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Castle, can I find it? I'll bet it's here. Oh, okay, I found it. Yeah. That first thing.
Yeah,
that's wild. I did not know that.
That's what her outfit's based on.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in new versions of April, like the last cartoon, which is the only other one, Rise of the Ninja Turtles, and the new movie, they made April's black now.
Okay.
Partially based off of because in these comics, Eastman in particular would use his girlfriend at the time as like a model for April, and she was like mixed race, but So and Eastman's kind of leaned into that in ways he's talked about it, but I don't think Laird ever had a thing. And I think like originally the character was supposed to be Asian, but just nobody drew. There was no communication, and she didn't get drawn that way ever.
Gotcha.
Like Laird just always thought of her as white. Is my understanding.
Gotcha. I mean, that's cool though. That like the elements are there for her to be like anything.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like Turtles, it's malleable. If you're doing a new version, you can do whatever.
Oh yeah.
There's like she's not even a reporter in the original comics. She's like a scientist. She's working for Baxter.
Yeah. I thought she's also, well, not her. How they have the Turtles, like their initial relationship with her in the 90s film was like the only thing I was like, do we gotta? Yo, she's such a babe. I'm like, we don't have to though. Whereas in the original comic, there's a specific line where one of them, maybe Raphael, is like, she looks pretty good for a human. Yeah. Like, that was an important line for me. Just suck all of that shit out of the way.
Uh-huh. Look, that was why they had to have the Casey and April romance in the movie.
Yeah. I mean,
we don't want any questions.
Yeah. The other side of that being now we get all these awkward moments with the Turtles just being there while Casey is like rubbing her shoulders in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Bro,
also in the cartoon, she's like, there's that scene where she just really feels like their new mom. She's like tucking them into bed.
100%. She's reading them fucking bedtime, the tortoise in the hair, and like, she's literally just their mom. I'm like, come on.
Where I feel like that's part of like the making her younger thing in later versions of like putting her more on equal footing with them.
Gotcha. I mean, that's a good fucking choice. Going back to the kitchen scene in the movie. What the fuck was that shot that I showed you where I looked into the abyss?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's cursed. I feel like on VHS that stuff didn't stand out, but now that you have like
the
as soon as like
4K
DVD quality, you see you see some of the things that they thought people wouldn't notice are now very noticeable.
Dude,
that particular shot is the most egregious, I think. It's a nightmare where you just look into Donatello's. He opens his mouth wide. You just see another face. And you're like, what the fuck? You see eyes and a mouth.
The problem isn't even like the face. It's that like that's not how people's faces work. It's like a weird, like, I guess if he's leaning back or something, but like you can't see his, like the mouth just looks so close to the eye. Fucking what a weird shot.
No, you just see these eyes and a mouth, and it's cursed. It's a nightmare. It's a demon thing.
I was losing my fucking mind. I was like, did I just see that?
I thought about warning you about it and was like, there's a lot of chance he doesn't notice, and it's so much. It's cursed knowledge to know, but
yeah, that was very.
It's hard.
Funny.
It's honestly hard to miss.
It's a pretty long shot.
Modern screens.
Yeah. Oh, that was. I mean, it was great. It's fucking funny as hell. And that's like, I mean, it's the 90s. I thought this movie looked fucking great. Like the costumes look so good. The
one of the last movies Jim Henson worked on before he died.
Splinter looks fucking great.
Yeah. The thing that really helps is like all the lighting, like all the shadow to like mask a bunch of the wonkiness with the costumes.
Sure.
And the animatronics are like pretty fucking good. They're not like the best
Yeah.
because they were working on a budget, but they're way better than any of the movies that came after this one. Like the turtles just look better.
Yeah.
There's things where like you look at their mouth and you see the performer. You can see seams on their helmets if they're from the sides. If you know you're looking for it, when they go into like fighting mode, you can tell it's like a much simpler mask.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
That's just like stuck in one face or whatever whenever they're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Perma grimace.
Yeah,
but just in general, like the fact, like this New York, that's I think North Carolina mostly, it's just filled with garbage. That's perfect. It's all, it's all good. That guy says, I think it was a big turtle in a trench coat.
Fucking guy delivering the pizza. Like, down here, dude. Hey, what was it? The order was $13. You were 2 minutes late. I thought I delivered everywhere. Shit was solid. I thought it was very funny going from the original comic to the cartoon to the show, because you get the cartoon to the movie, because you Shredder's just fucking taking L's. Like by the time we get to the movie, he's just stealing wallets. I'm pretty sure it's him like on the street too, right? Like they have the shot of the kid like handing the wallet and like Shredder's arm grabs it. It's his arm, right? It has like the gauntlet on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this motherfucker's topside getting wallets.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Crime lord. Petty crime.
Yeah, I was gonna say petty crime. Yeah.
This is the world of this is 80s world of hypercrime. Okay, it's all about. There's just tons of petty theft going on all the time.
Well, only in the cities.
Yeah.
Try that in a small town.
Which I think is all based on like a crime that happened in New York in like the 70s.
Yeah, it sounds right. No, I thought that shit was just very funny. Also, like, what the hell was the kid's name? Danny? Was it Danny?
I think so. I think it was. Yeah. Because at the end he says, "Dad, it's Dan."
Yeah, right. It's Dan. Fucking. Oh, I completely. Oh, right. The whole idea of like. I don't know. I forget exactly how they phrased it in the film, but like. He thinks like his dad doesn't love him or whatever, and his dad like clearly cares.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was such a weird like. I don't know. This kid's too angsty.
Yeah. I don't know that Splinter's all fathers care for their sons thing is actually true.
Yeah, I was like,
that's a little
care for their sons. Ooh.
I wish.
You know, like that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
He tried.
Yeah. It was the right thing to say to that kid at that time.
Yeah. The kid doesn't have much life experience. Like he'll clearly believe anything. So let's fucking hit him.
That's true. He trusted Shredder.
Yeah.
Although Shredder is just like, I don't know. Shredder's just running like the best fucking youth center.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that all these kids are smoking cigarettes. Other than that, it's pretty good. Just public funded.
Look, if society fails people, they'll look elsewhere.
I don't know that Shredder's doing something so evil that I think you need to throw him into the back of a fucking garbage truck.
Holy shit. Casey just casually, fucking oops. You just fucking sent that guy.
It's so much worse than him blowing up to a thermal grenade. It's so funny.
It was like surprising. I'm like, there's no fucking way like this is how it happens. And then it just does. And I'm like, are we going to see, like, is he going to raise the hydraulic press and we're going to see like pancake shredder? Like, this is some cartoon shit.
It's fine. He's back in the second movie.
Of course. Yeah. He got better.
His hand raises out of the fucking garbage dump. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's fucking stupid. At that point, just have it be like Shredder's son or something. Which I also don't like. If you're gonna fucking do one or the other.
I do like that Shredder just kicks the shit out of all the turtles in the movie. That's fun.
Oh yeah, dude. I was
Splinter has to handle him.
After seeing it, I was not after seeing that and then going to the new comic, I was not expecting the turtles to do well against him.
Mm-hmm.
And even the old comic, like, shit's brutal. Dude's a tough bastard.
Yeah. And the old comic is like so heavily influenced by Frank Miller stuff. All the narration is very Frank Miller-ish. Obviously, like, the foot is just the hand from Daredevil comics. Splinter is just Frank Miller came up with Daredevil's Japanese master being Stick.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a lot there. The canister is that's just Daredevil. He gets hit in the eye. It's like that's just Daredevil's origin, saving a man from a truck and getting hit with chemicals.
The big thing, well, it's not a huge thing, but like I remember the moment that I was like, you know what, this is like grim in a way that the cartoon is not. I think it's when they're on the other planet with like what are the fucking aliens, the Triceratons or something?
Triceratons.
My apologies to any Triceratons who might be listening. They're like fighting, and I think it's I think it has to be Donatello because I remember his bow breaks, and he just fucking stabs the thing with like one of the splintered edges. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And there's that, and that was like the moment I was like, you know what, this is pretty heavy shit.
No, because like those comics, they just have this good energy of Eastman and Laird just get to do what they think is cool, and like what they care about in the moment. They're not following to fucking anyone. Also,
the dude who the Triceraton, I forget which one it is, but the one that is on Earth and like still alive or whatever, that quote unquote helps them. Like, that shit is fucking. I mean, it's so well done. It's fucking horrifying though. Like, the atmosphere of this planet is like eating his brain and body alive, and he's just like breathing heavily. Like, existence is actually just pain, and he's just like fucking helping them out because he's deteriorated that much and doesn't know what's going on. Like, holy shit. And then like he gets shot and his fucking crest or whatever, like on his, his part of his head is just like off. Like there's a hole in it and shit. That shit's fucking brutal. It was so cool though. Like, that was good shit.
100%. It's so good.
On the flip side, also just how they had him keep repeating stuff. Like Zorg, what's his name? Zard, something.
I don't remember.
He's like, Zorg knows stealth. Zorg knows. That's just all he said. Like, god damn.
Yeah.
But they also hit. I thought they did super well with the serious bits. Like after they end up going, I think in the original comic it was Casey's grandmother's house, right? The rundown place. I want to say it was his grandma's house, and then in one of the other things, it was April's place.
Yeah, in the movie, it's April's for sure.
Yeah. But like her whole, I mean, I was reading it on my, I think I read this on my, the original comic I read on my laptop. Reading that, let me tell you, reading that cursive, not very fun, but but like it was good. Those diary entries and like how everyone's handling what fucking happened, like that shit really hit. It was it was very good.
Yeah, and that was the thing that I know Eastman like really wanted in the movie. Was that bit where April's like narrating and kind of giving that same kind of thing.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, that's the sort of thing.
And
like,
you're right. It's Casey's late grandmother's house.
yes. Yeah, I'm a Turtles fan. But no, I mean, that also was like kind of unexpected. Just because like I don't know. Sometimes when that stuff does, when shit gets serious in comics, like it gets serious, but not in a way that it doesn't necessarily have like the emotional weight behind it that like really hits, like makes you empathize and like feel super bad or something. And like this just did.
Yeah. Well, it's also a thing of like part of what's good about that comic is its propulsive forward nature into this new thing and this new thing that's like just like it's like a new exciting thing this issue or whatever, and it's like got energy, and then Shredder shows up and then they slow it all the way down for that issue.
That's very true. Yeah.
Like, and it just fucking works. The bummer is that then that's like the last issue they work on together, right?
Yeah, they slow it way down.
So then it's just like side stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Or in like the art just gets way worse. These are like the big things to me.
I can't.
And less consistent.
I can't talk about Sirius and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles without referencing the thing that I know I mentioned to you and we talked about a bit. That I know is an edit, but the fucking thing where Batman is like, "This is it, Raphael. This is where my parents died." And Raphael, someone edits the bubble to be like, "Cow, a
Well, there's no bubble there.
Yeah. They add, but fucking cow, a bummer is like that's the shit I kind of expected from serious Turtles.
Sure.
Fucking Sonic the Hedgehog ass. Bummer May Horace.
We should talk more about the cartoon, probably.
Yeah. Krang is just chilling.
That voice is so fucking good.
I love Krang's voice. Turtles.
Shredder. Build me a new body.
Yeah, my body.
The voice actors. Shredder is so... I love petulant Shredder. I don't want a rule to mention X.
Yeah, dude, that fucking bit was so good.
James Avery plays like fat. He finds the fun in that, like,
What
just,
a
like make
rule.
him the most petulant character, like little baby.
Yeah. Oh, it leads into the cartoon, I think, or involves it earlier. But in the movie where they're all like, first off, I thought the quipping was really good, and then especially when they're like thinking up all of the adjectives, and then it's fucking Splinter who's like, "I've always been a fan of cowabunga." That's good shit. That was it's like fucking cheesy as hell, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just also because I thought Splinter was like, he was a good Splinter, and like his delivery of that was just really solid. But like that's the fucking vibe. And then like we're getting into the shit that I'm like in the cartoon, like, yo, here we go, it's pizza time. All these fucking... I forgot. I forgot in my brain just totally eliminated the fact that not only was it pizza, but they're like, give me the jelly beans and anchovies. Like all these fucked up things. And then April is just stuck trying to pick the least horrifying combination. Can I have like the marshmallow and pineapple or whatever?
They just get like, they go to Ninja Pizza and they just get like whipped cream pizza or whatever.
Yeah, someone got like something normal and then 3 like just crust and whipped cream. And they're just like just fucking slurping that shit.
They go to the Ninja District.
Everything's just ninja. Isn't this kind of weird? Why would ninjas be at a pizza place? Like, you're ninjas. You're at a pizzeria.
They really set the tone with that like news report at the beginning. It's like ninjas.
Yeah, dude.
The rope.
Holy
rope
shit!
that says
Yeah,
Japan
made
on
in
it.
Japan. I was like, this is actually a fucking incredible first episode. You go into that, and then they're interviewing the guy, and he's listing off all the fucking made up techno bullshit that got stolen, and they're like, and what does this equipment do? I don't actually know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Like all of the fucking bits, I was like, this is kind of unreal. Like this is not the shit I was expecting. The fucking rope, I was losing it. Like just unreal. I was never in a million years expecting that kind of fucking joke.
Yeah, the guy who wrote these episodes went on to work on Batman the Animated Series.
Nice. You know what? I could see it. I could feel it.
And he got mad. He has actually got mad about the way the show went because his thing was like it's action with comedy, whereas the show eventually leans much harder on just being comedy on comedy. And they toned down the action because parents complained about the violence and there's like when they're like robots. Becoming a popular thing. They don't get to use their weapons as much as they do in these episodes either.
Fucking parents.
Also, like these episodes are animated by Toei, and I don't think that, and they like the animation is just worse as they like up the episode counts and get different studios to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whereas like this is like being animated like next to fucking Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah.
It's like it's not their A team, and it's like pretty. The thing I'll say about this animation is like high points are high, and then there are points where it's like very sloppy and just like then there are a lot of mistakes.
Yeah,
There's just a bunch of times where it's just the wrong turtle talking, or whatever.
I didn't notice that. You mentioned a thing, but I didn't notice any of it.
There are a bunch of little continuity mistakes. There's like one part where Raph attacks Bebop or Rocksteady, and then Raph also comes in from the side, a different turtle, but also with a red headband.
Have you tried having the mind of a child as you watch these? Because let me tell you, didn't notice a thing.
Yeah, I mean, as a child, I didn't notice anything, but as a child, I didn't notice the fucking face in Donatello's mouth either. So. Yeah, but like these are the episodes I most like coming back to because the animation is so good, and like this mix of comedy and action is the thing that most appeals. Is like the thing that like I loved about it, right? And it's the thing that's the most like its violence and action is the thing that's the most anime about it. I'd say. Is it?
I was actually wondering because I didn't know that Count, obviously, but I knew the show went on for quite a while. Is it a thing, despite maybe animation getting worse or whatever, like the leaning towards comedy getting too heavy? Was it a case where like the voice actors like increasingly fell more into their role and like that shit just like ages super well and gets better over the course of the show? Do you know, or do you think maybe?
I think they're pretty good here. Again, these are the ones I revisit the most, so this is this is the most of what I remember. I think they're pretty in their roles.
Okay.
Here.
Because like I was thinking while watching, like I certainly don't want to do the entire thing, but like at some point I wouldn't mind like grabbing a sample, you know? Something.
Yeah, no.
It'd be
There
cool
are
to check
certainly very fun. There are plenty of very fun episodes.
Yeah.
And
But,
they
like,
do a thing like there are like season enders that are like raise the stakes a little bit. They do.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Like the Technodromes come back or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely other. Again, that episode where Michelangelo and Shredder switch places, that's just great stuff.
Yeah,
That's a
man.
good
Like
episode.
that I can fucking imagine.
But
watched that
these
clip
five
some-
definitely stand out a little bit in my brain.
Yeah. And these, I imagine, I mean, I guess I don't fully know, but these seemed like, I imagine it deviates a lot more from the comics and just does its own shit. And this seemed kind of more.
Yeah,
in line with
it
that.
it definitely becomes like, what toy are we selling this week?
Yeah. Yo, I was gonna. Speaking of deviating from the comics, there was one thing across like every piece of media we watched that I was like, why do we need to keep this? And it's why does April gotta faint? Even in the new comics, they're like completely. April's a college student, like she's a science lab intern, like she's super smart.
She
Whatever.
sees the
She's like,
turtles.
I can't handle it. It's like the exact same line in all of them too. She's like, I can't handle this, and just passes the fuck out. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Women be fainting.
Women out here fucking they see a couple of mutant turtles and they're like, I can't, and just gone. It's unreal. Now big manly
Whereas
men.
Casey, no reaction. Just like, yeah, that's a turtle. This
What up, bro?
is my new fucking brother.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a family.
Oh, it is funny that all fathers care for their sons, juxtaposed with Casey's dad in the IDW comics.
Yeah, dude, I
He's
haven't even
just
thought
a
of
piece
that.
of shit.
He's just actually a fucking asshole. God. Yeah.
I hadn't put those two things next to each other in my brain, actually.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that at all, but that's very funny. I mean, it sucks for Casey, but like,
Yeah.
he's fine.
Mhm.
He's getting through shit. Also, the other mutant, like Fox thing in the new comics, like that's
Yeah.
no, we got some of that in the cartoon. It wasn't like mutant ant. No, what do they turn into? It was animals.
Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a warthog and a rhinoceros.
Right. I thought there was another. That's kind of the problem is I'm getting all this shit.
Sure.
What happens when
I mean, let
remember
me
what
tell you,
happens,
there
but-
are plenty of more action figure characters that show up in the course of this cartoon.
Oh yeah. But like even in just the 5 that we watched, I'm like, because there was something with like the Stone Warriors too, or something, wasn't there?
There were the Stone Warriors. Then there were the teens from Dimension X with their flying cars that are like
Right,
50s
yeah.
greasers.
Yeah. Bunch of squares.
Cool, Daddy, we are frozen.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Oh my
that
God.
incredible wailing, high-pitched voice that is burned into my brain forever.
Daddy-O, we're frozen is like,
Yeah. Cool. And I love that as soon as those kids leave and the turtles have their flying car, it immediately runs out of gas.
yeah. Can't let them have too much.
What is it? What does this thing run on anyway? Looks like plutonium. Gotta build that turtle van.
I took a screenshot. I don't think I actually sent it to you. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but this shit was fucking sending me where they're like, we gotta get the van inside. They just push it up the fucking stairs.
Oh, it's so good. The like physical practicality of them like going, all right, we gotta get this van up these stairs.
This shit's fucking ridiculous. And the fact that like April's just inside, like what, she's gotta steer it? Like this shit's unreal. What, did someone say something about like taking the elevator or something? I know there was like a quip before. It was like, no, we can't do that, you dumbass. Whatever they say that's friendly for kids. And then as them get cut, like, we can just push it up the stairs. Fucking, because that's such a better idea. That makes way more sense.
It's much funnier.
I love the turtle van, dude. I was expecting. I thought maybe it would. I thought maybe that. I didn't know that it was like a thing in that cartoon. I kept expecting it to happen in the original comic, which in hindsight now it makes more sense that it doesn't. That doesn't fit the vibe.
No,
but like
they do drive in a van.
So oh yeah, the van is there. We got vans for
BMW
days.
Van. Doesn't have all the. Donatello is extremely into branding on the things he makes. Putting a big Turtles logo on everything.
I mean, look, he knows the importance of marketing, of brand recognition.
Basically invents fucking cell phones, but he makes them little turtle shells.
I mean,
the turtle communicator.
Yeah, dude.
That April then threatens to blow up her workplace with.
What does she call it? She calls it something. She like says it's like a turtle grenade or something.
Yeah.
I forget what nonsense thing she says. That shit's
the
so
things
good.
I do to get a story. That threaten to murder your boss.
Understandable. God. No, the cartoon was like a super fucking fun time.
Mm-hmm. And I love the stakes of, like, the Mousers really feel like high stakes of just like destroying their house, like the places they live.
Oh yeah,
that carries over so well.
No, it's very good. I will say, I was kind of thinking earlier, like, I'm a little mousered out. Just because
sure.
I think like almost like everything was hitting the mousers, which like makes sense, but you know, I find
they weren't in the movie.
Yeah, but you know, everything else.
Yeah, they were in 3 out of 4,
which I wouldn't necessarily care about. I just find their design a little boring, honestly. The implementation, like what they're doing, and I think everything else was like different enough and interesting enough, but like their design just doesn't hit for me.
I like their design.
I liked it the first time. I didn't like it that much.
Sure. I actually like the simplicity of it in the original stuff more than I like what they do with it in the IDW comic.
Oh,
where they try to like make them all unique, and I'm like, it's better if they're all the same. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, I also like in the original comic how they were just like they were meant to catch rats. Like there wasn't really an alternative thing initially. Like that was what everybody was expecting, and then it goes sour, as opposed to like here's a acronym. I forget what the acronym even was. I forget what it stands for. The mobile something or mouser.
I mean, that mouser, it catches that rat in that maze in the cartoon.
It does. You're not wrong.
That's what it's for.
But no, what they achieve is good.
Yeah, and Baxter Stockman gets completely whitewashed as the character for the cartoon.
Yeah.
He eventually gets turned into a fly person in the cartoon.
Great. Fucking fly person. Disgusting.
Yeah, he's gross. He's a weirdo.
Do they get any more like permanent team members? Like I know Casey and April are there, but does anyone else like join? No. That's kind of surprising.
Not in the original cartoon.
In the cartoon, yeah. In the original.
In the live action Saban show, there's a 5th female turtle.
That makes sense. Like that's the what's her name? Wait, can I guess? Do I know any?
Venus. I think it's Venus.
They couldn't find a single. There's not any
Nope.
female Renaissance painters. Not a one.
Nope, she's Venus de Milo.
Okay, I gotta look this up. TMNT Venus. That'll probably be enough. They still gave her tits, huh? just right through that shell.
Cursed.
It just makes it
Not
look like
good.
it just makes it look like she's wearing an outfit.
Yeah.
What color is her headband? Is it blue?
Yeah, it's like teal.
It's like okay. I guess they could reuse a color because of the tits. That sets her off enough for like visual recognition. What's her weapon? Is it these fans? I see fans.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm gonna assume it's these fans. That's about right. Yeah, this is something. What the fuck is this?
Peter Laird called creating her creatively bankrupt.
What the fuck is this? This cannot be real. I found a thing. I'm gonna look into this before I link it. It says on these images, there's a ton of art. There's a ton of like comic book covers. There's pictures of her from the show. There's like a Wikipedia thing. This says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 127 Venus first appearance. Is this like real? Was she like made?
She used
Okay,
she used magic orbs for her main weapon.
I'm just gonna send you this fucking picture because this is what the fuck. It can't possibly be real, right?
That could be real. I think there was like fucked up apocalyptic stuff happening in Turtles by the.
Dude, this is like some fucked up hentai art. This is like fucked. Oh, that's cursed as hell. I'm so put off right now. Venus was a mistake. Why can't people just be chill? Why can't they just be normal? Have you seen any of the show like at all? Or do you just know like she exists and stuff?
Of that live action show, I didn't. I find that show unwatchable.
Sure.
So.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm so curious to know if she's like the other turtles or if she's like the mature girl TM or whatever. Oh, that picture, I gotta remove it from the Discord. It's upsetting me so much. I hate it. Not like that it's like making me uncomfortable to look at, but just like the concept of it and how close it is to other fucked up shit is like infuriating. Since
apparently she's introduced in the comics as being like a
Frankenstein sort of thing.
Frankenstein thing.
Yeah, it's all the stitches and stuff. Since no one else can see the picture, I will just say like amputee shit.
Yeah, she just doesn't have limbs.
Bro, I've seen too much. You know what?
You're surely telling more on yourself here, I feel like.
No.
Things on the internet, unfortunate things on the internet you've been exposed to.
Exposed to, not go seeking for them.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
About me. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Look.
The things
I also
have been imposed upon your eyeballs.
I could not possibly foresee that this would be a thing in Made in Abyss. But it was. It came up. Did you have to draw amputee children? No, but he did. Yeah. It's all just a nightmare. I'm very anti-amputee characters for that reason. In that way, not like generally. Obviously, I have nothing against fucking amputees, but like when people are drawing them, they just need to not be cursed.
Yeah. Don't make it horny.
Just don't fetishize it. It's that fucking simple. Look, they put tits on the turtle. Like it was all over anyway. Like I knew it. As soon as you said they added a female turtle, I'm like, there's no way they didn't. But like, you know, I see so much shit about that too, where it's like, we're gonna have a thing with like two cats. One is a boy and he looks like a cat. The other one has like chesticles and fucking is like slim and leggy and hippie. She's thick. Ridiculous. But like in theory, like I'm pro female turtle. Mm-hmm. Like that is space for fun stuff. Or just like I saw a thing. I don't know if it's official or not because I was just looking at stuff. Is there like a cartoon or comic or something where like the turtles are drawn vastly different? Like specifically, Raphael was like fucking swole. Like he was a big boy.
That's the most recent show that existed. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I think that's a kind of cool idea.
I haven't watched that show, and when I was like doing research for this, I got exposed to enough of that show to say I need to watch that show. That show looks rad.
Oh, nice.
Like the animation quality actually looks really fucking good.
I'd be down to check it out. I think like ultimately,
I will say as a design choice, I don't like Giant Raph. That's probably a big reason why I never watched it.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say I still liked the concept of them being generally equal, all things considered.
I like the way the IDW comics do it of like making them slightly different colors in terms of they're green.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like that stuff.
Oh yeah. But I do like having them be like physically different. I think that's fun. It can be.
There's
fun.
definitely merit to it. I just don't like purely reactionary. Just looking at it, I don't like Raph's design, and I don't like Donatello's design on that show. I give Donatello like a bigger forehead. He's got more rectangular head.
His big brain.
Exactly. I think he's also more of a dick in that show, which I also don't like. But that's just me being fucking an old man.
Which you are. You're fucking ancient.
Yeah. I'm as old as the Ninja Turtles.
It looks like they just. I'm trying to see. Like,
whereas Michelangelo just looks like Michelangelo. Yeah, that's how you can tell Michelangelo's the most popular character. He's just Michelangelo.
Oh, Splinter looks wild too.
I love little pudgy Splinter.
Little pudgy rat Splinter.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
But I have seen the latest animated movie, which is tremendous.
Yeah, I remember you saying it was like you really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. The turtles are all voiced by like actual kids.
Oh, nice.
So it has like very different energy where they just actually feel like kids.
I mean, that's pretty good, dude. I was gonna say, after after
I
doing
think
this
Splinter's played by Jackie Chan.
nice.
He's doing like an old man thing.
Which version of Jackie Chan from his game was it? Admiral? Was it the Admiral?
It's not the Admiral.
Ah, I'm out. No, I mean, after doing all this shit, I was thinking like that might be a good movie to do up because I remember you saying you really liked it.
Yeah.
And like, I couldn't be. I mean, I was completely neutral on it because I was completely neutral on Turtles. But now that that's leaning on the positive side, like I'm fucking down. Mm-hmm. That movie looked very fun.
Yeah, it has the benefit of like being a unique art style.
Yeah.
Like, because it exists in the wake of Spider-Verse.
That's what I would. That's literally what I thought of when I saw it. Is like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the reality of it. So many CG movies before Spider-Verse were all just using Pixar's tools, and Spider-Verse was like the excuse for other movies to use different styles of doing stuff.
You mean we don't have to make it all look the same?
True. Fucking finally.
Game designers after the 2010s realizing it didn't all have to be brown and gray.
Another Turtles thing that so the 2003 cartoon, which I mostly doesn't work for me, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's for like the last thing that existed for it was a movie that's like a crossover with it's like a multiverse thing where they cross over with the original Turtles. And It's extremely disappointing because they don't have the original voices for those characters on that front. Like Shredder and Krang just sound like shit in particular. But there's a bit in that where they visit the world of the original Turtles, and it's incredible.
Oh shit!
Where they go to the like Turtle Prime, and it's all black and white. They meet the like original comic book Ninja Turtles, and it's so good.
Fuck. I mean, that kind of sounds worth doing.
Because it does the thing that I think the CG version also did a crossover with the original Turtles, and they both do this where they play up the corniness and like the not fighting aspects of the original cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And like saying goods in this version suck, but the thing is, in specifically the 2003 one, it's like, yeah, these turtles are so silly, they're like making jokes. But in contrast to the 2003 version of the Turtles, like the current version, which they just say "what the shell" instead of making jokes. They just say the phrase "what the shell" all the time. And I'm like, you're not actually making a great case for how your version is so much cooler. Like, I kind of get it, but I also I'm kind of annoyed. Because it's not exactly faithful. It's just like, your jokes aren't quite working. If you just did the thing, like when there are parts that work. There's like a part where Bebop and Rocksteady show up with a machine that finds them. That's like the sniffer, and it has a little nose on it, and they say the nose. That's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But it's hit and miss, and it's really distressing that the voices are just worse. Because that was made under like 4Kids, so they weren't union. It was non-union, so the actual voice actors who were like union members were like, I'm not being a part of that.
Yeah. Oh, that fucking makes sense. We also,
whereas hilariously, Raphael's original voice actor voices Donatello in the CG show.
Oh, weird.
And I think he's like now he's like graduated. I think he's the voice director on Rise. He was the voice director on that show.
I mean, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what else we have open to us now?
As far as turtle stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, there's more of the IDW comic.
Turtle Games, bitch.
Oh, that was a rhetorical question. I see. Yes, true. Because we have already talked about that we're going to play some turtle video games.
Play turtle games. I'm gonna beat your ass as Donatello unless he's bottom tier, in which case I'll pick whoever's top tier. You know I'm a tier whore.
Yeah, I don't know who's top tier in that fighting game. TMNT Tournament Fighter.
I thought there was is there a couple different fighting games on that? Or is there just a couple versions of one?
There's the Genesis version and the SNES version are different.
Okay.
Because that's the era.
Yeah. I know there's a bunch of beat 'em ups.
Yes. Specifically the arcade ones are the ones I want to do, even though there's, I think like the Genesis one is a unique game, but I don't think we need to play the NES game. I'm going to say we don't need to do that one.
Yeah. I mean, I might check it out and stuff, but
yeah, you could do it on your own. Like that one isn't multiplayer anyway, so.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do the multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for you to see the like arcade games, because you're not a beat 'em up person, you know. The like pure just hitting you with the thing of those games is very good.
Well, and I think I mean we talked about it a little bit. I think that was not on air though, right? I was just like shooting the shit.
Yeah.
I've done. I mentioned to you that I've done like a few beat 'em ups, but they were literally like just in not even arcades, but like like our local Pizza Hut had like 2 arcade games. So like while we were waiting for our food or whatever, I would go play whatever arcade game they happened to have. And that was like it. And I didn't get a shitload of quarters either, so if I died, like go back to the table and wait for my food. And I can't even remember, like I remember playing the only game I can remember playing specifically was like Rampage. Or something. I assume it was Rampage.
Climbing buildings, eating people.
Yeah, just doing shit. But
I like the N64 or PlayStation era of those games.
I think I had
by Midway.
I think I had the N64 version at some point as well. Because I remember playing it with my brother.
Yeah.
But
decent co-op games.
But like currently, I mean, playing fighters honestly has onboarded me a little bit. I think got me more like hitting shit is fun, I guess, and more like into the like the arcade sphere of things.
Yeah.
And just having Fightcade, like seeing that shit just around occasionally, like or like playing Cyberbots and be like, Cyberbots is fucking sick. And then you find out there's a beat 'em up where you can like kind of customize your Cyberbot. I'm like, I need to play this fucking game because that sounds incredible.
Yeah. The thing with those arcade beat 'em ups is they're pretty shallow video games.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I said to you was,
but they're cool as hell.
Yeah. And I want to like having someone to play them with. Is like I don't feel the need to do them on my own. Really.
Yeah, the fact that shit's just on Fightcade is very appealing too for a lot of that other stuff.
Oh, totally.
But the Cowabunga collection is just such a cool also thing.
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, even when it's suboptimal, I hate when especially when it's shit like Capcom where they put in their shitty DRM and stuff.
Yeah.
I still really, I bought the I bought the Samurai Showdown collection because I think that I want to support that shit because it's great. Like Cowabunga collection, the Capcom has a beat 'em up collection that like if I'm ready to pull the trigger on it if I enjoy the beat 'em ups in the Cowabunga collection. But like any of that old shit, I wish there was an old Tekken collection or like Soul Calibur 1 through 3 even would just be fucking amazing. So anytime that shit exists, I'm so happy
Don't get me started about them not re-releasing old Tekken. So mad.
Yeah, dude.
You can only play Tekken 2 on the PS5, but
You can play what's the fucking PSP Soul Calibur game? Broken Destiny.
Yes. And you can play the PSP version of Tekken 6 on there too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was the PSP version, but I was like, why are all the UI elements look like fucking dog shit? It's like the character models upscale pretty well, but
That's very funny.
all the menu stuff is like very great pixelated. It's like trash. But although the hype thing is that it has rollback, which is just fucking fun.
Yeah.
You're like, you get stomped and you're just like, nope, go back to fucking start of the round. I'm fucking beating this computer. Fuck you. No waiting.
Oh, that's the thing too. When the collections have like actual fucking features,
Yeah.
like Capcom fighting 30th anniversary collection, like even turning it to the easiest difficulty for those arcade modes, it doesn't fucking matter, dude. There's still such bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I got a hit on Bison. That means I'm doing a save state so that when I inevitably die, I can go back to that time I got a hit on him and try to get another hit. It's like, that's what you got to do if you don't want to be miserable. Now maybe it'd be better because I'd pump some hours into fighters, but like doing that shit raw is insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, looking very forward to playing Turtles games. And also it's just like I said, like I like Leonardo because he had swords. I'm looking pretty forward to living out that shit. I don't know if I'll play Leonardo. I feel like it's going to be a tough decision in the moment, but we'll see. Who's your go-to? Do you Raphael?
I've been doing Leo.
Okay.
But it's like, my Leo love is really off the back of these IDW comics.
Sure.
It wasn't a thing when I was younger.
Fake fan. Real ones like him for the
I
swords.
was a Raphael, Michelangelo Donatello fan. Leo's good too. Look, my favorite color was dark green, so they were all great. There is all winners.
Fucking score.
I walk around in a all green coat and wear a green beanie. So
yeah, you're right there.
Green fucking hat. So
see, now my favorite color.
I've got a turtle backpack from when I was a kid.
Fucking yeah, right. When you were a kid, you bought it last week.
No,
couldn't resist.
No, it's got old toys that are like I don't want to touch because they're old plastic and they're sticky now. And I don't know what to do about it.
Unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
that's a podcast. SaltCirclePodcast@gmail.com. SaltCirclePod on Twitter. Anchor.fm/SaltCircle. @SaltCircle on YouTube. I'm on Twitter @ComicPanels.
that was a lot of turtle talk.
They're good, and there's a lot of it, and they're different. Yeah. They have different flavors.
That's true.
It's an enduring thing about the Turtles is you can reinvent them. There are principles to it, but mostly it's just like they're very flexible.
You can reinvent them, but your reinvention is going to fall short of tubuloso.
That's true. Look, it's got all the important things. Characters being hungry. Violent action.
Yeah.
And humor.
Yeah.
And chilling.
They do
all
chill.
The
There's a lot of
things.
chilling, yeah. Yeah.
And cutting off the side panels of fans to
It's a good time.
Yep. Things getting big. Krang got big.
That's true.
All the things.